Hey everybody out there, it's time to duel, and today for you guys we are going to be doing a deck profile of a deck that is iconic. It's gotten a lot of love, though it's never been meta, and that deck, as you can see by the playmat today, is going to be my Red Eyes deck profile. So there's a multitude of different ways that you can play Red Eyes in 2019. You have link spam, U-link boards I've seen. Spam Tomahawk, go for crazy link things. I've seen standard Red Eyes. I've seen so many different versions of Red Eyes. Alas, the Guard Dragons are not quite out yet for us to use the Guard Dragons in Red Eyes, and we are still waiting on the Red Eyes Link monster that's going to be coming out in June of this year from a Show and Jump manga, magazine, excuse me, as a promotional card. So I will update the deck when that stuff does come out fully, especially when we get the Red Eyes Link monster. But for right now, this is how I've been playing Red Eyes for the past year, and I thought you guys would enjoy the deck profile. So without further ado, I will get into the deck profile. So first off, we got our 3 classic Red Eyes Black Dragon, 2,400 attack, 2,000 defense, Joey's favorite card. So yes, 3 Red Eyes, standard stuff. I've had these since I got the Joey structure decks back in the day. Years and years and years ago. Next we got 2 Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. You could run this as a 1 or 2 of in the deck. It's up to you. It has a little bit of a burn effect. He is treated as a normal monster engraved, same as your original Red Eyes Black Dragon over here. So you can definitely do different things. Next we run the cards that came out over a year ago now, actually, believe it or not. It feels not that long ago, but the Gear Free, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. Now, do keep this in mind that this does have Red Eyes in its name, which means it can be used with other cards out there. That's important. This card can be used to pop back row, reborn cards, things of that nature. Very good card. It's a warrior, so it's searchable by Rhoda. So yes, definitely a staple 3 of in the deck, I feel. Next up, we got 3 Black Metal Dragon. Now this card I love to abuse. It's sort of a pseudo searcher card in the deck. It's a level 1, which is nice. It's also a card that gives you 500 attack when you equip it. So it has a multitude of different uses. I'm also very happy. I know people weren't happy when it got, they announced it. They thought it should be something else. But I'm so happy that this is now a holo out of the OPS Pack 6. So these are holo now, which are so cool to have these as a holo version card. But yes, 3 Black Metal Dragon you run. There's a bunch of different cards I do run in the deck still. Some of them are a little bit old school plays, but I do like them still because this card is a searcher for the deck. It floats, and it does so many different things for the deck. Some people like it as a 2 of. You can definitely run it as a 2 of if you feel like it, but personally I like it as a 3 of still in the deck. Next up we got 2 the Blackstone of Legend. Some people say this is a staple 3 of. You have to remember that this card is not as good as it used to be when it first came out. I've seen people run this as a 1 of. I've seen people run it as a 2 of. I've seen people run it as a 3 of still. Different people run it at different ratios. Personally, I feel it's good as a 2 of. You can use it to bring out your Red Eyes cards, which are nice. So it has a bunch of versatility with that. It also allows you to reuse your Red Eyes that are in your graveyard, put them back to the deck for other uses to make other cards live as well. So at the end of the day, I definitely like the 2 Blackstone of Legend in the deck. So yeah, pretty staple there. Next we got the 2 Red Eyes Baby Dragon, which I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think is the most expensive card in the deck. Last time I checked, this was like an $18, $20 card. It's a good card. The problem with this card is that it has to be destroyed by battle to get its card effect. That sucks. If it was by battle or card effect, I'd be fine with that. But it just says by battle. Now, you can normal summon this and ram it into your opponent. And if you do, you get a whole bunch of effects that it gets equipped to the monster gets effects. Overall, it's a really good card. but you do have to remember that it has to be stored by battle. So sometimes I have had to normal summon this and ram it into my opponent, but it's such a good card. You could definitely run it as a 1 or 2 of. I definitely would not run it as a 3 of because, like I said, you have to do it, take some setup, things of that nature. It does work with the fusion because the fusion play, when you go for your fusion monster with the deck with Red Eyes Fusion, it states you can't normal or special summon that turn, but it states nothing about setting a card. So if you go for the fusion play and then you set your Red Eyes Baby Dragon, that's fine. And then next turn, you know, you can do other plays, and when this gets destroyed or something of that nature, you can go off with it. So don't forget about that. I have found from play testing online and just in general play testing against people that when originally this card came out, people knew that if you were setting a card, this is what it was. Nowadays, not so much. They've kind of forgotten about this card's existence. So it's more live, quote unquote, in quotation marks. So yes, but it's a very good card. I definitely would run it at some ratio in your deck. Personally, I like it as a 2 of though. Next up, we got the big bad boy himself, Red Eyes Metal Dragon. You run this card as many as you can in the deck. If this card ever went back to 3 of, you run 3 of it. I don't care. This card's amazing in this deck, especially because it has Red Eyes in its name. And for the different usages you can use for it. This thing spams out cards, reborns cards from the graveyard, brings them out from your hand. Amazing, amazing card. Next, we run 1 Light Pulsar Dragon. Now, people always wonder why I use Light Pulsar Dragon. You do have the Meteor Comet Dragon that you can run in the deck, but Light Pulsar is just maybe a tad bit better than that. And this helps you go for, if you guys don't know what this helps you go for your Meteor Comet Dragon in your deck. So that's why we run the Light Pulsar Dragon. You can run the Comet Dragon if you want to, but I like Light Pulsar because it just states level 6 or lower dragon. Light Pulsar is the best, I feel like. So that helps you go for this if you guys have been wondering about that. So yes, but 1 Light Pulsar Dragon. The last monster we run in the deck is 1 Kinkabuyo. Now, this is an old school play. If you don't want to run this card, take it out. If you want to run hand traps like Ash Blossom and Joy Springs, Ogres, Drilling Locks, Ghost Bells, your counter hand traps like Call by the Grave and things of that nature, if you can find the space in the deck, go right ahead and run it. But what you use with Kinkabuyo, and the reason I've always loved Kinkabuyo in this deck, is because of the different combo plays you can do with Kinkabuyo, with Black Metal Dragon and with Black Stone of Legend. So with Kinkabuyo, what you can do is you can normal summon your Kinkabuyo, and let me read this quickly. I gotta reread something here. Yeah. So you would normal summon your Kinkabuyo, and what you could do is you could do for one of two things. You could either use Kinkabuyo to bring back your Black Stone of Legend that's engraved, use Black Stone of Legend's effect, and then at the end of you'll get your Red Eyes out, and then you can bounce Kinkabuyo back in your hand to reuse it later on in the duel. Or what you can do is normal summon Kinkabuyo, bring back Black Metal Dragon, go for a contact fusion into one of your contact fusion monsters, which is, are you? Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which is a 3000 beater, and then you'll also get a search off from Black Metal Dragon as well. So you have the versatility just with this one particular card, which is nice. You can go into fusions, get a search. You can bring out Red Eyes with Black Stone of Legend. Yes, it does take some setup, but it's usually going to be live when you get it going. So I do like the 1 Kinkabuyo for the different plays you can do. It's up to you if you want to run it, if you feel like you don't too. I mean, like, granted, it can be stopped by Effect Veil, or it can be ogred. It can be, some things can happen to it, but, you know, you can run it or not run it. It's up to you, but I like it for the versatility it gives me in my deck. Next cards we got is definitely a staple 3 of on the deck, and that's Red Eyes Insight. This is kind of like your Foolish Burial / Searcher for the deck. Helps you search out, you get to send 1 Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and then if you do, you get to add 1 Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is really nice to do actually. So the different things you can search out, if you guys are wondering, is you can search out Red Eyes Fusion, you can search out Red Eyes Fusion and Red Eyes Fang with Chain, which is an amazing card in the deck, pretty good. You can search out Return of the Red Eyes, which is a continuous like Call of the Haunted card, and Red Eyes Spirit, which is a good Reborn card as well. So you have a multitude of different cards you can search out with Red Eyes in sight, and I hope one day this gets a holo print because it'd be really nice. I think it's a super rare, but we'll have to wait and see, but definitely a staple 3 of in the Red Eyes deck. Next up, we got 2 Red Eyes Fusion. I've seen people run this as a 1 of, 2 of, and 3 of, more 2 of, and that's what I lean towards. You can run 3 of Red Eyes Fusion if you like to. Personally, I've seen people run it as a 3 of, and that's fine too if you really want to go down that road. But it's a card that, it sucks that you can't no more, do other things the turn you activate this card per se, besides set cards like Red Eyes Baby Dragon like I was talking about earlier. But it's a card you need in the deck to go for your Fang with Chain. You go like with a whole bunch of fusions with this card. You go with your Red Eyes Slash Dragon. You get to go for your Red Eyes Comet Dragon, which is amazing. So you get to go for these 2 main fusions right here with this card. And that's the reason we run it, because it's very important to the deck. Next up, we run a card that is amazing in just about any dragon deck with high-level dragons. 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. This protects your dragons, reborns your dragons. We have so many ways in this deck to reborn dragon monsters. You got Return of the Dragon Lords, you have Silver's Cry, you have Soul Charge, Monster Reborn, Return of the Red Eyes, and Red Eyes Spirit. You have like 6, 7 different ways, 8 different ways to reborn dragon monsters from your graveyard, to abuse them for link spam, for exceed plays, what have you. So definitely 3 Return of the Dragon Lord is staple in the deck. Also protects your big dragon monsters as well. I wanted to add a little bit of draw power to the deck, and that's 3 Allure of Darkness. I also do run 1 Cards of the Red Stone, which is not searchable, which sucks. This card's good, but it can brick sometimes if you don't have the card, a Red Eyes monster in your hand. I do like it as a 1 of in the deck. It's a good card. It's definitely a 1 of. I've seen people run it as a 2 of. Not a big fan of that, but a 1 of is okay. I like the Allure of Darkness because everything in your main deck, with the exception of Light Pulsar, is dark attribute. So if you get too much maybe Red Eyes in your hand, if you get dead cards in your hand of some variety, you can just banish it, draw 2 cards, and draw into something else that you could use. So that's why I like this little draw engine right here. Like I said, 1 card Stone of Red, it's okay. You don't have to run it, but it's really nice to have as a 1 of in the deck. I like it still. Next up, we have 1 Silver's Cry as your 1 of in the deck. It's a nice card to have. It's another Reborn card. It works with your Gemini Red Eyes and your regular Red Eyes in the deck to reborn them, to do different things. So, yep, I like it in the deck as a 1 of still. It's nice to have, even though it has blue eyes on the cover, on the card, excuse me. For your 1 ofs, 1 Soul Charge, 1 1-for-1, 1 Rhoda, 1 Upstart, 1 Monster Reborn. A lot of 1 of cards in this deck, yes, but we run Upstart, makes it a 39 card deck, gives you a little bit of draw power. Rhoda allows you to get to gear free. 1-for-1 works with a bunch of your 2 main cards, your Redstone and your Black Metal Dragon. Works with these 2 guys. 1-for-1 does. You also have Soul Charge because you dump things to the graveyard so quickly. Soul Charge is amazing. And Monster Reborn is amazing too, so that's why we run Monster Reborn. It's amazing as well. So a lot of Reborn cards in this deck, because you send a dragon so quickly to the graveyard, you're able to do so much with them. Next, I run 3 Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Some people like this as a 2 of, 1 of. Personally, I love this card as a 3 of. It's just so useful in the different plays that it helps the deck out. So allowing it for the dragon to attack twice has won me games just because of that reason. Allowed me to clear boards, things of that nature. So I definitely like 3 Red Eyes Fang with Chain in the deck. You don't have to run it as a 3 of if you don't want to, though. That's fine. And lastly, we run 1 Return of the Red Eyes, and then 1 Red Eyes Spirit Dragon. This can reborn. Never forget, this Red Eyes Spirit can actually reborn back from the graveyard your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which is very nice. So that does work for that. But these 2 are just other reborn cards in the deck to have that work very well in the deck, I feel like. So that's the last cards we do run. onto the extra deck now. We have our 2 Joey tokens with red eyes. But for your fusions, we got 2 red eyes Slash Dragon and your red eyes Comet Dragon over here. You run this. This card's amazing. We also run 1 Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which I showed you with the Kinkabuyo play, which is essential. Then we got 2 red eyes Metal Flare Dragon. Yes, that is a ghost rare one I've had for years now. I built this deck back when it originally came out, but we got 2 red eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Definitely a staple in the deck. I like it as a 2-of. Some people prefer it as a 1-of, and that's perfectly fine. But I always find myself going for 1 or 2-of per duel, so that's why I run it as a 2-of. It helps you reborn red eyes, burn stuff. It's just a good card to have. We also run 1 Big Eye and 1 Galaxy Tomahawk Dragon. Big Eye just for stealing big monsters. Tomahawk helps you go for your Link spam plays in the deck, which we're going to go into right now. So for your Tomahawk plays, I run 1 Link Spider, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Corpot Genius. Corpot Genius, if you want to run running this in the deck, this is because this helps you. These tokens that Galaxy Eyes Tomahawk creates are machine tokens, so Corpot Genius can use those. We also run 1 Twin Triangle Dragon. This card I sometimes go into. It requires 2 dragons and does require some setup, but it's a pretty decent card. I do like it. You don't have to run it if you don't want to, but it's just something I do. I've been trying out over the last month or 2 as I've been revisiting this deck, and I go for it a couple times. 1 Nightmare Cerberus, as well as 1 Nightmare Unicorn. You could run Phoenix if you want to, or Mermail, the Mermail one as well. We also run 1 Boros Sword Dragon. You could also run, if you wanted to, the other big dragon cards like Borreload or Sauja, Skuldred. I mean, you can run whatever you want to in this spot right here if you don't have a Boros Sword. But, yep, that is the deck profile in a nutshell. I thoroughly enjoy playing this deck to pieces. It's just such a fun deck to play, and I really enjoy it. The deck will probably be changing a little bit more, I feel like, especially when we get the Red Eyes Link monster and we get the Guard Dragons. I don't know how much the Guard Dragons, as I've been looking into them for Blue Eyes and Red Eyes dot decks, I don't know how much it's going to be changing necessarily, the deck and how it functions. It will really be changing it when we get the Red Eyes Link monster in June or July, I think it is. So yeah, look forward to that update down the road. But yeah, till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.